Hello everyone, this is part 13 of What If Naruto was in Sword Art Online, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
The news of the new bonus quest in New Aincrad has spread very quickly for all the players in Alo. They heard a rumor that the quest is a special quest that allowed to directly reach the 100th of Aincrad to challenge the final boss. The rumor also said that the winner could get anything if managed to defeat the final boss. But there was also rumor about the final boss. It said that he is not like any other boss that players had met before. His strength is so overwhelming that none of the party had managed to deliver a blow at him. Although he has only 1 bar of HP, it didn't make the task to defeat him simpler. Kirigaya Household. Kirito is seen reading the article on the board about the new quest that recently appeared. He deduced instantly that the quest was created by Naruto. He wonder what kind of quest is it, that nobody has cleared till now. Obviously, as the last boss, Naruto will incredibly strong, but none of the parties that tried to complete the quest even managed to injure him. That's ridiculous. In the history of VR MMO there was never such a boss before. But if it's Naruto, then everything is possible. He single-handedly cleared Sao by himself. Not only that, but before the battle with Heathcliff, he even managed to defeat the Skull Reaper solo. Even with Excalibur now, he still didn't think he is ready to face Naruto. Though, this is the only chance to challenge Naruto as the boss. Because the quest only lasts for a week, before the quest will be removed. Naruto makes this quest as the present for the Christmas. Man, the quest is last only for a week. And during that time I won't be able to see Naruto as he acts as the final boss on the 100th floor. What should I do? Muttered Kirito out loud, eating his breakfast slowly. Didn't you want to challenge Naruto-kun to a battle, Oni-chan? Naruto-kun makes this quest as a present for players on Christmas. So I think you should try at least. Plus we will go with you. I'd like to see Naruto's appearance, as the boss, said Susanoo, and looking at Kirito, then slowly eating her sandwich. But didn't you hear the rumors? They said that the final was ridiculously strong. As the player, Naruto is practically invincible, but as the boss he is twofold than that. Even with Excalibur and Skill Connect, our gap still very far, said Kirito. You underestimate yourself too much, Oni-chan. You forget one fact, that we know some of his attack during the mission in Jotunheimer. Also, no matter how powerful Naruto-kun is, he won't go all out, as long as me, Rika-san and Sinan-san are there, said Leafa, and smirked at Kirito. Kirito snapped his fingers and exclaimed, "Yeah, Naruto won't be able to go all out as long as you girls are with me," and stood in his way. I can use all the moment that he tried to repress his attack to counter him. Also, I still have one trump card that's still not used. I knew it will need to defeat Naruto, so I didn't use it last time. Plus I still have my magic eyes, Alpha Stigma. With those eyes, I can keep up with Naruto in a magic battle. Kirito then turned to Susanoo and said, "You contact the girls, while I will call Klein and Agel. Our opponent this time is Naruto, so we need more people." "Okay, Oni-chan. About the meeting place. It will still be at Lisbeth's shop?" asked Susanoo. "Yeah," answered Kirito. Time skip. Alo. Lisbeth's shop. Everybody has gathered and now they discussing about where the quest is located. I asked somebody on the way here. They said that the quest is located at the same place when we first encountered the fatal scythe. Not really a pleasant memory, but according to the people that tried the quest. After receiving the quest, we need to defeat a monster called Nemesis in order to get a black teleportation crystal, that will teleport us straight to the 100th floor of New Aincrad, explained Kirito. I still couldn't believe that we will fight Naruto. He was always the one that saves our asses and now he is an enemy, muttered Klein. For me, it's perfect. I want to pay him back for the humiliation he caused me in GGO. Now it's time for payback, said Sinan with a scary smirk on her face, with her ears twitching in excitement. And I will have a chance to try out my Mjolnir on Naruto-kun. After all, he needs to be punished for all this secrets, said Lisbeth with a grin. Well, I didn't have any grudge against Naruto-kun. But I also want to try out my abilities against the strongest opponent, said Leafa, pointing the finger to her chin, and looked up at the ceiling in thought. Naruto challenges me specifically for this quest. First, I'd like to test my abilities against him. Then if possible, defeat him and get back my dual wielding. After all he said you could get back anything from Sao, said Kirito clutching his knuckle. Kirito then turned to the party and shouted, "Let's go. Time to kick Naruto's ass." "Yeah," shouted everyone. With that they left Lisbeth's shop and proceed to move to the first floor of New Aincrad. New Aincrad. Floor 100. Haru Castle. On the square in front of the castle were 3 parties consist of 5 people each. They are all panting heavily and looked at one figure in black armor before them. The figure's face was hidden by the mask that was part of the helmet. All you could see is the pair of cold blue eyes with apathetic look. What kind of boss is it? We have battled him for hours and even with so many people, we couldn't injured him even once, asked one player looking fearfully at the boss. It's just a bonus quest, but who would have thought it will be this hard? The shield in his left hand could reflect all magic attacks. The sword in his right hand doubles his attack's power. And the 6 Magatama on his neck could reduce the damage. Besides that the fighting skill of him is of the charts as well. How the heck are we supposed to clear this quest? Analyzed the leader of the party then began to sweat nervously. The boss looked at them like an elephant looked at ants. He already tired of these weaklings. He wanted to have a real challenge, but it seems besides Kirito there will be no one to make him satisfied. He sighed in disappointment and charged at the party with blinding speed. Floor 1. Hidden Dungeon. The party is heading to the place where the fatal scythe was located in Sao. On the way, they need to fight off other monsters, as they stood on their way. Kirito, Asuna and Yui felt nostalgia. They are heading to the same place where they nearly died. Yui also recalled the moment she was about to use the GM function, Object Eraser, in order to save her parents. If that were happened then she was about to be erased by the system for disobeying system's orders. But that didn't happen as the panel had appeared then that said, the game was cleared. That was also the moment that Naruto had disappeared from their life. It's ironically that Naruto chose this place as a quest receiver. They walk for a while and suddenly saw a giant figure with a above his head. They immediately recognize him as a quest receiver. He was an huge old man with spiky long hair. He also has a beard that covered his whole chin. On his body is a white coat that exposed his big stomach, Susanoo in Campion. Kirito and the party approached to the guy and began to talk to him. Susanoo looking at the fairies in front of him and said, "I need your help in returning 3 of my regalias that was stolen by the Dark Master, fairies." "How did he stole those regalias from you? According to your name, you are a Shinto god. So how did Dark Master manage to stole those regalia from you?" asked Kirito curiously. Susanoo frowned and said, "That bastard managed to outsmart me. We played the game of Russian roulette, but he somehow always guessed right. We made a deal and I lose the game so he demand to give him those regalias." Everybody sweat drop at that. The Shinto god gambled against the Dark Master and lost his regalias. That just sounds so ridiculous. And now he wanted it back. If you lost then why do you need to take them back? You guys play fair and square. And you lost. So why is it necessary to get it back? Asked Klein. Susanoo's face became serious and said, "Because those 3 regalia are very powerful items. In a wrong hand, they will cause disaster. With them in possession, the Dark Master could take over not only Arfheim, but all the 9 worlds as well. Right now he is bored and just wait for a great challenge in his castle at the 100th floor called Haru Castle. But when the time comes, he may want to conquer the other worlds. That's why I want your help in retrieving the regalias." "Oi, Ossen, if those regalias are so important, why do you even gamble them in the first place?" asked Lisbeth with a tick mark on her forehead. Susanoo hearing the question, blinked then laughing out loud then said, "Gyahaha, I was completely focused on the game and forget that fact." Gyahaha. Everybody sweat drop again at the stupidity of the so-called god. Though Kirito and the others know perfectly that Naruto won't need that, but this story is just a part of the quest. The girls, Klein and Agel, tried to imagine Naruto to be the evil conqueror that tried to take over the 9 worlds and laughing evilly. The picture they imagined it just not right and they nearly burst out laughing hysterically on the ground. "Do you fairies accept the task to return my 3 regalias?" asked Susanoo. "Wait, we didn't know what kind of regalias you were talking about," interrupt Sinan. "Oh, yeah, completely forget about that. The first regalia is a sword that can cut even the ocean in half, Am no Murakumo. It's double the attack's power each time you swing it. The second is Yasaka no Magatama. It has the ability to reduce the damage to minimum level. The third is Yata no Kagami, the magical mirror that can reflect all the magic attacks, no matter how powerful it is. Those are the 3 regalias that you need to return to me. If you manage to return to me, I could give you back one thing you want the most. So do you accept the quest? Yes. No. Quote. Susanoo said, and a panel appeared before Kirito. Kirito pressed yes to accept the quest. Susanoo turned to the party and said, "Thank you for agreeing to help me. But before you could move to the 100th floor, you need to defeat the Dark Master's servant, Nemesis, the 2-head mystical beast. One is the head of the eagle while the other is the head of a lion. It will appear here soon as you fairies agreed to help me. Defeat it and get the black crystal that will transport you stare to Dark Master's law." Just as Susanoo finished taking, they heard a roar, then a screech above them. They looked at the creature and saw it was a griffin that had 2 heads. One is a lion, the other is of an eagle. It has 3 bars of HP and is descending at them at great speed. "Everyone, scatter," ordered Kirito, and the party began to scatter. Sinan took out her bow and activate the ice arrows shooting skill to aim at the 2-head griffin. But the griffin's lion head shoot a yellow beam from its mouth, destroying all the arrows in the process. Silica rushed with great speed at the griffin from behind. In her hand was a water dagger and prepared to unleash it. She jumped up from behind the griffin and slashed it to the back. The griffin took the damage and roared and screeched at the same time. Also, it began to lower itself on the ground slowly. Kirito and Klein saw that, then turned to Silica and praised her. "Good job, Silica-san. Now it's our turn," said Klein, and rushed at the damaged griffin with Kirito. They both activate their flame sword skill and slashed at the griffin, caused it to roar in pain again. The griffin's eyes turned red and it began to fire the yellow beam from its lion's head and purple beam from its eagle head. Klein and Kirito didn't expected those attacks and was blast back behind. Asuna immediately began to chant a healing spell to heal them. Behind the griffin, Lisbeth with her new Mjolnir in hand and Agil with his gigantic axe charged at it. Lisbeth raised her Mjolnir and slammed it to the ground, that generated a wave of thunder. The wave is so powerful that it blasts the griffin to the back. Lisbeth widened her eyes, then looked down at Mjolnir in wonder, then smirked satisfyingly. Agil do the result of her attack and said, impressed. As expected from the legendary weapon. He threw his axe at the griffin, aiming to one of its wing. The griffin was stuck and now couldn't fly anymore. "Let's finish him off now and head towards Naruto," shouted Kirito and charged at it with Excalibur in hand. Everybody also charged at the griffin and unleashed their skills at the poor creature. The griffin shattered to blue polygons with the last howl and screech. Then an item appeared on the ground in its place. It was a black teleportation crystal that right, Haru Castle. Kirito picked it up, then turned to everyone and said, "From here on it will be very difficult. I would even say we even could fail the quest. Because the one we will face is not only the last boss of New Aincrad, but also Naruto Yuki Uzumaki, the strongest VR MMO of all time. But no matter what happened, I'd like to try my limits against him. Naruto and I always want to test each other out. And now is the perfect time. I am counting on you guys. Let's clear this quest and New Aincrad as well." "Yeah," shouted everyone. They decided to rest for a bit to replenish their HP and MP before facing their worst obstacle. Time skip. Floor 100. Haru Castle. Kirito and the party used the black crystal and was instantly teleported to the need location. They looked around and saw that they are at the square and before them is a huge castle. They looked closely at the square and noticed 15 torches of red, green and yellow color. Then they noticed a figure in black armor with a helmet and a mask hiding his or her face. The wind is blowing his or her red cape dramatically. On his left hand they could see the Yata no Kagami was strapped to it. They looked at his body and saw a 6 Magatama necklace there. In his right hand is a big purple sword that radiate the purple energy around it. Kirito narrowed his eyes at the figure, then slowly began to approach him. "You are Naruto, right?" asked Kirito. The figure didn't answer anything at first and just smirking. Then he slowly took off his helmet to reveal his face. The face revealed was indeed of Uzumaki Yuki Naruto. "So you are finally here, Kirito. Welcome to my lair, the 100th floor of New Aincrad, Haru Castle. I have been waiting for you for a while now. Don't disappoint me like the others, said Naruto with a battle-thirst smirk. The party looked at Naruto with a weary look and also shocked at his appearance. Though the girls think he looked super cool in that armor. Agil and Klein looked at Naruto for a long time and muttered. So this is Naruto's appearance as the last boss. I could say this guy sure knows how to impress people. And like the geezer Susanoo said, he possessed those 3 regalias. Naruto looked at the party then said, if you guys are ready, let's start, okay. With that an aura of dark power began to envelop Naruto's armor body and the earth began to slowly shaking from the demonstration of the power. The party all began to sweat nervously as they could feel the earth is shaking in response to Naruto's power. This will be the hardest boss battle that we will ever have. Everyone, don't hold back anything. Or we will fail this quest for real, said Kirito, still sweat nervously at Naruto's power. The hand holding Excalibur is shaking slightly. Allo. New Aincrad. Floor 100. Haru Castle. The party all looking at Naruto in the black armor, as the wind blowing harshly and the earth trembling at the response to his power. Kirito and the others gulped nervously as they are waiting for Naruto to make the first move. The wind slowly died down and the earth stopped shaking. Everybody that presences there all sigh in relief, as a thick tension was gone. Meanwhile the torches began to transform back to their proper forms. One player looked at Naruto's unmasked face and widened his eyes. Hey, look, I can't believe this. The identity of the final boss is actually the hero of Sao and one of the winner of the third Bob, Naruto Yuki Uzumaki. It's no wonder that nobody could clear this quest. After all, Naruto-sama is the ultimate VR MMO player. There is no such person that could surpass him. I wonder if there are any chance to even clear New Aincrad anymore. The other players looked at the members of the party and recognized Kirito. Whoa, the beater of Sao and the legendary black swordsman, Kirito is also here to clear this quest. Kirito and Naruto were buddies in Sao and never fought each other. But I wonder who will win in this battle. Even if he bring the party with him. It didn't mean anything. Naruto-sama is on the whole different level than the other boss in New Aincrad. Let's just observe the battle. It's not every day you could see those two fight, said the other member of the Salamander party. The other party also was revived and watching the battle intently as well. With the party, Leafa looked at the calm face of Naruto and wondered why Naruto didn't make any move yet. Her thoughts were interrupted by a barrage of flame arrows comes from behind her. She turned back and saw Sinon shoot a barrage of arrows at Naruto. Naruto saw that the arrows are heading to him, just raised Yata no Kagami to deflect them. He then turned to Sinon and waving his finger at her. Ach, that was not very nice, Shino-chan. I still have done anything yet. Sinon looked at Naruto's snug face and began to feel even more enraged at his arrogance. Kirito decided that he will make the first move. With that he charged forward at Naruto with Excalibur in hand. Everybody, follow my lead, shouted Kirito, and everyone behind follow him. Naruto just standing there and smirking amusedly. Come, and show me everything that you guys have got, shouted Naruto gleefully. The first to charge at Naruto was Klein with his flame sword skill. He intends to slash at Naruto's torso, but Naruto just raised Amno Murakumo to deflect the strike. Then he kicked Klein away just in time to jump back and avoid the swing from Liz Mjolnir. Whoa, Liz, since when are wife allowed to hit her husband with a legendary hammer, huh? Liz at the teasing of Naruto just felt even more enraged and shouted. Naruto. With that she slammed Mjolnir to the ground and generated a wave of electricity that head to Naruto's direction with great speed. Naruto noticed that and put the Yata no Kagami in front to deflect the attack. He then looked behind as he noticed Silica behind him with her water dagger tried to stab him. He allowed her to stab. Silica at first gasped, then smiling triumphantly as she managed to injure Naruto. But the Naruto in front of her just dispersed in a puff of black smoke. She gasped at shock that turned behind and saw the smirking face of Naruto. He flicked her forehead and jumped right away to avoid a barrage of ice arrows. He turned to the direction where the arrows comes from and saw Sinon stood there in a shooting stance. Today, I will make you pay for the humiliation you caused me in GGO, Naruto. Prepare yourself, declared Sinon and pointing her finger at Naruto. Naruto blinked and then sighed. So you still mad at the accident, huh? But that won't happen, as you can see I am on the whole other level than you guys right now. You guys didn't even manage to scratch me even once, said Naruto and shook his head, then shrugging his shoulder. That comment just makes Sinon more mad as she then charged at Naruto and used hand-to-hand combat at Naruto. Naruto dodged easily and caught her hands in his, smirking arrogantly. What now, Shino-chan? But he forced to release her as Kirito and Leaf are charging at him from behind and striking at him simultaneously. Naruto chucked his mouth in annoyance and jumped far back. Agil threw his axe at Naruto when he was in midair, with a hope to at least injure him once. But Naruto chanted the incantation and the black portal appeared behind him to teleport the axe away. The party decided to regroup. We couldn't injure him not even once. And he is just toying with us. Naruto's power is incredible, said Kirito with gritted teeth. I know Naruto-kun is strong, but this is ridiculous. The whole party attack and no one has managed to injure him, said Leaf impressed. And he didn't actually use any of his sword skills. So far he used only Kyoku Sugetsu and the teleportation spell. I don't want even to think what will happen to us if he used his sword skills, said Asuna looking at Naruto seriously. And he didn't seem to have any weakness. Right now he just used counter moves against us. If he decided to go on the offense, we are doomed, said Klein shivering. Never expect to fight Naruto. And now when I am finally realized what he is capable of. To tell the truth, I am actually scared, said Agil glancing at Naruto from the corner of his eyes. Kirito just looked at Naruto the whole time and vice versa. He came here to test himself against Naruto. So if he wanted Naruto fight seriously, he will need to fight with everything he got. Everyone, I know that what I am about to say sound ridiculous, but... I want to have a duel with Naruto. So please just observe or heal me if need. Naruto invited me here to test our limits. Now, I will fight like I never fought before. Not even when I am in Sao. It will be first time, which I will give 120% of myself in a fight. I want to know the real gap between me and Naruto. So please, don't interfere, said Kirito, and the look his eyes changed to serious. The battle lust began to radiate from his body. Everybody looked at the change of Kirito in bewilderment. They really never saw Kirito like this. Asuna looked at Kirito with wide eyes, then smiled. Kirito then charged at Naruto with blinding speed that caused Naruto to surprise and raised no Murakumo no deflect it. Then they clashed blades with one another, defecting each other strikes after strikes. Kirito activate flame sword skill and slashed at Naruto. The slash was powerful enough for Naruto to activate Phantom Blade, as his sword glowed pitch black. Naruto then jumped back to create some distance between them. So this is a serious you, huh, Kirito? The you that I didn't know existed. Alright, now we will fight for real, said Naruto and prepared to rush at Kirito. Kirito just stay silent and observe Naruto. He couldn't afford himself to lower his guard even once in this battle. Naruto rushed at him, then widened his eyes and said, Phantom Sonic Rush. With that, Naruto was multiplied by 5 and all rushed at Kirito. Kirito remembered Naruto explained about this skill, and closed his eyes and tried to find the original among those 5. He noticed the battle lust comes from the third Naruto and slashed at him. Naruto widened his eyes and was forced to raise his sword to protect himself. Kirito charged forward with his flame sword again and slashed multiple times at Naruto and forced him on the defense. Then he unsheathed his second sword and used the ice sword skill and with a battle cry began to assault Naruto. Naruto gritted his teeth, as he understood that Kirito has unleashed his skill connect. He tried his best to deflect all the strikes, but Kirito's speed is very impressive. And finally Naruto was slashed across his chest by Kirito, with his twin swords. With the party, they looked wide-eyed as Kirito battling on the while other level than he was before. They couldn't believe their eyes that just a moment ago the whole party having trouble even to touch Naruto, yet, now Kirito is fighting on par with Naruto. Oni-chan is amazing, said Leaf in awe. I know that, but Naruto-kun still hasn't go all out yet. He still hasn't unleashed any of his dark magic, said Liz looking at the fight. That's Kirito for you. Come on, Kirito. Kick Naruto's ass. Cheered Klein loudly. Sinon just watched the fight silently then said. It's true that Kirito right now is keeping up with Naruto. But that doesn't mean he could win this fight. Why did you say that, Sinon-san? Asked Asuna with narrowed eyes. Sinon turned back to Asuna and replied. Did you forget the accident with Death Gun in GGO, Asuna? That's Naruto's true power that was suppressed. That was the ultimate swordsman. Even though I doubt he will appear here, Naruto still haven't gone all out yet. Then they saw Kirito used skill connect and managed to injure Naruto. Yeah, that's the spirit. Keep it up, Kirito. Cheered Klein. Well, he actually managed to injure Naruto. That's impressive, said Agil whistling out loud. Asuna just smiled looking at Kirito's direction. You can do it, Kirito-kun. Kirito versus Naruto. Naruto looked at his chest and saw the cross traces of swords. He then looked back at Kirito and said, well, that was impressive. But, Naruto then charged at Kirito with blinding speed, caused Kirito to widen his eyes. Naruto appeared behind him and slashed at his back, then disappeared and appeared above him and slashed down. Kirito received a slash to his neck, gritted his teeth in pain, then forced to jump back as Naruto slashed down at him from above. Naruto then disappeared again and reappeared behind Kirito and unleashed his spectral liberation. Kirito received all the slash and jumped back panting. Then he narrowed his eyes and wondered why nothing happened. Then he widens his eyes and recalled the memory of that skill. Naruto snapped his fingers and said, quote, it's still not enough to defeat me. You need to try much harder. With that, all the strikes delivered by Naruto magically appeared on Kirito's body. Kirito screamed in pain at all those strikes and fall on his back with his eyes widening. Impossible, muttered Kirito looking at the dark sky above him. With the party. When they saw Kirito fell to his back, the wild party began to widen their eyes and shouted out in worry. Kirito-kun, shouted Asuna and began to heal him. I can't believe it. Naruto just turned the table in the blink of the eye. Just how strong is that guy really, muttered Klein in disbelief. Naruto began to fight seriously. That action proved that Kirito is strong enough to make him become serious, stated Sinan looking at the fight. Oni-chan. Naruto-kun, muttered Leafa, she didn't know who she wanted to cheer for. Naruto-san had become serious now. Can Kirito-san keep up with him now, I wonder? Wondered Silica. Just believe in him. I am sure Kirito will make a turntable soon enough, said Agil looking at the fight. Yeah, all we can do now is believe in him, said Asuna. Well, I actually felt bad that I am cheering for Kirito and not my husband. But he played villain here. So it's just logically, right, said Liz scratching her head. Well, Naruto is the last boss of New Aincrad. And Kirito is just clearing the quest. Could you really call him a villain? Said Klein. Let's just continue to observe the fight. I feel that it will get to the interesting stage very soon, replied Sinan with a smirk on her face. Kirito versus Naruto. Naruto is waiting for Kirito to stand back up and prepared himself for any attacks. Kirito jumped back up, then shook his head to clear his head. As expected from Naruto, you managed to turn the table very quick. But I too still haven't unleashed my trump card yet, said Kirito looking at Naruto. Naruto cocked his head aside and said smirking. Ho, then show me your trump card. Kirito smiled and then charged at Naruto with his twin sword and began to slash at him. Naruto dodged some and deflected some. He is on defense for now as he waits for Kirito to unleash his trump card. Kirito's eyes turned to the Yata no Kagami and narrowed his eyes. Then he strikes multiple strikes at Naruto's left hand, aiming for the Yata no Kagami. Naruto noticed that and tried to deflect all the strikes. Suddenly, both Kirito's Excalibur and the other swords glowed different color at the same time. Kirito unleashed a battle cry and slashed both his swords at Naruto, releasing a wave of wind from his left sword and a wave of fire from Excalibur in his right hand. Two waves fused into one and create a raging inferno that head to Naruto's way. Naruto widened his eyes at seeing that happen. He then raised Yata no Kagami with intention to deflect that attack. But it was no use. The strikes was so powerful that it destroyed the Yata no Kagami in Naruto's left hand. Kirito seeing the result of his skill and smirked satisfyingly. With the party, they were utterly shocked seeing Kirito create the inferno that even destroyed Yata no Kagami. What kind of skill is that? I've never seen anything like this before, muttered Klein completely in shock. So that was Kirito's trump card. I should say I'm very impressed. And even Naruto was shocked at that performance, said Sinan in awe. Kirito-kun, you managed surprised us once more again, muttered Asuna with a smile. Whoa, have you seen that? It was so freaking awesome, said Liz with stars in her eyes. That Kirito sure knows how to surprise people, said Agil with a smirk. Now with Yata no Kagami gone, Naruto-kun won't be able to deflect magic attacks anymore. Which, if what I am thinking is right, Oni-chan will activate the Alpha Stigma very soon, stated Leafa looking at the battle. Alpha Stigma. What is that, Leafa-san? Asked Silica curiously. Everybody also turned their attention at Leafa, waiting for the explanation. Leafa looked at everybody, then said, "Oh, I forgot you guys don't know about that. Alpha Stigma are magical eyes that gives the user to use any spells in the interval if 5 minutes. During those 5 minutes the user's MP is infinite, he could use any spells no matter how many need to use it. Oni-chan obtained those eyes during the time he and I tried to bypass the Guardian to reach the World Tree to rescue Naruto-kun." Everybody looking in awe, hearing that, they didn't even know that Kirito had something like that. Kirito versus Naruto. Naruto looked at his destroyed Yata no Kagami and sighed. He then looked back at Kirito and said, "So the destruction of Yata no Kagami was your intention from the start? Am I right?" Kirito just nodded his head and said, "With the Yata no Kagami gone, you are now vulnerable to magic attacks while I have advantage. Because I have this." With that, Kirito closed his eyes and reopened them to reveal the Alpha Stigma in his eyes. Alpha Stigma. So you want to move to the next stage, eh? The Battle of Magic. Okay, then let's start the second act, said Naruto and put Hugh hand on his face and materialized the fox mask on his head. Then he unleashed Kumonju and has them surround Kirito. "Let's the magic battle start," said Naruto. Allo. New Ancrade. The square in front of Haru Castle. Naruto looked at Kirito through his fox mask, while Kirito is looking around him, as he was surrounded by Naruto's Kumonju. His Alpha Stigma is blazing brightly. He tried to analyze the magic that Naruto has casted. Kirito took a deep breath, then began to chant incantation. The smoke covered his body, and when it was cleared, in Kirito's face was the fearsome figure of Fatal Scythe in front of Naruto, towering him. "Hey, so you decided to use reality illusion after all. But even if you were more powerful, that form didn't mean you could win this fight." "Charge," said Naruto looking at the huge figure of Fatal Scythe in front of him, then ordered for his masked beasts to attack. The 9 masked figures all charges at Kirito. The masked tiger jumped at Fatal Scythe and tried to tear him apart with its claws. The masked bird pieces continuously at the Fatal Scythe, also flying around him. The masked dragon roared loudly, and from its mouth an energy ball flew towards Fatal Scythe. But Fatal Scythe swings his huge scythe and blew the energy ball away. The rest of the masked figures tried to damage Fatal Scythe, as much as they could. Fatal Scythe has enough and create a shock wave from its body caused an explosion, and all the masked beasts was dispersed. Suddenly behind Fatal Scythe, Naruto appeared in mid-air with Darasenringu in his hand and was about to slam into him. Kirito deactivated his spell and returned back to normal just in time to avoid the Darasenringu. Then he raised his hand up and began to chant incantation. Apes igniferae. From his hand dozens of flame bees appeared and flew towards Naruto. With the party, they looked wide eyes, except Leafa as they saw Kirito used a spell. With Alpha Stigma activated, Oni-chan can use any spells now in the interval of 5 minutes. Those spells, I guess, are the spells that Oni-chan had prepared in order to face Naruto-kun, explained Leafa looking at the battle. "So does Kirito-kun has a chance to win?" asked Asuna. "That we can't tell. Naruto is the master of dark magic after all," said Sinan. "The battle is so far even. But I believe on Kirito. He will win," said Klein with confidence. "Well, those two always want to test themselves against each other. And now that they finally have a chance, they will try the best to defeat each other," said Agil looking back to the battle. "Naruto-kun still seems to be holding back. I don't know why I feel that, but I could feel it," said Liz fidgeting. Naruto versus Kirito. Naruto saw the flame bees charged at him and activated his teleportation magic to teleport them away. "Not bad, Kirito. But before I forgot, what was that skill that destroyed Yata no Kagami? It certainly is not a system skill. So what is it?" asked Naruto curiously. "Yes, that's right. It's not a system skill. It's called skill fusion. By activating different skills at the same time and unleashing them, I could fuse both skills into a much powerful one. Though I could only use it once in a battle. But it was worth it. Because I successfully destroyed the Yata no Kagami," explained Kirito. Naruto whistled at this discovery, impressed, though it's a shame that the skill could execute only once in a battle. Then Naruto recalled something and snapped his fingers. I forgot to mention something special about this bonus quest. And what is so special about this quest? If the leader of the party died, then the quest is automatically failed. In other words, if you died then the whole party failed the mission, explained Naruto with a smug face. Kirito widened his eyes at that, then smirked. Interesting. Really interesting. But what if I told the girls to charge at you now? Do you really think you will win? It doesn't matter. But you won't do that after all, you came here to test your limit against me, said Naruto smirking. Kirito sighed and said, hey, you know me too well. But I will try my best to defeat you. Here I go, Naruto. With he charged at Naruto and began to chant incantation. Flagrantia Rubicans. A huge fire blast flew from Kirito's hand at Naruto. Naruto's eyes turned serious and replied, Larica Umbre. Before the fire blast hit him, Naruto was covered by the cloak made of shadow that protected him. Kirito activated his wings and flew up, then continued to chant incantation. Sagitta Magica, Ignis Interatum. A barrage flame arrows flew from Kirito's hand at Naruto with great speed. Naruto countered with his spell. Tenebris Rugiat. Out from Naruto's body an aura that looks like a demon head appeared, roared and deflect all the flame arrows. Kirito covered his face with his hands as the wind blew harshly from the roar. Kirito flew up high in the air, then raised his hands to the sky and shouted, Ignis Infinitum. What happened next caused Naruto to widen his eyes in fright. From the sky hundreds of fire beams flew at him. Naruto grouted his teeth as his transportation magic still not recovered. The fire beams all flew at Naruto with great speed and prepared to annihilate him. With the party, everybody looked shocked at what Kirito has chant. With this Kirito will definitely win. Naruto couldn't do anything but watch as the fire beams flew towards him. It's over. We have won, said Klein in excitement. Not yet, said Sinan looking at Naruto's expression. Huh, what are you talking about? There's no way Naruto could counter a spell like this, retort Klein, narrowing his eyebrows. Look at Naruto's face. Does it look like the face of the person that accepted defeat? Asked Sinan smirking. They all looked at Naruto and saw he is smiling. Why is he smiling? Isn't he in a tightrope now? Asked Silica not understands. It's simple. Naruto is enjoying this fight. He is glad that Kirito-kun has pushed himself this hard to defeat him, answered Asuna smiling. Naruto versus Kirito. Naruto took a deep breath, then began to chant a new incantation. Reflexio est Niger. With that a huge black mirror appeared before him and deflect all the fire beams back to the sky. Naruto, after chanting the incantation, panted really heavy. Kirito looked wide-eyed at what Naruto have done. Besides the summoning of 4 sacred beasts, Ignis Infinitum was his strongest spell, and even it didn't enough to defeat Naruto. Kirito, using this moment when Naruto was exhausted, decided to charge at him with Excalibur in hand. Naruto panted heavily after his spell, then he looked up and saw Kirito is charging at him with Excalibur in hand. He prepared no Murakumo to deflect the strike that will come. Kirito activated the flame sword skill and roared, then began to assault Naruto, forced him in defense. Naruto gritted his teeth as he was still exhausted from the grand spell that he just casted. Then he recalled one spell that will turn this situation in his favor. Gravitas Ligaveris. With that, Kirito suddenly felt his body became more heavily. He felt that the gravity began to push him to the ground. Finally he couldn't withstand the weight of the gravity that is pushing him and slammed on the stomach to the ground. With the party was shocked that Naruto managed to defect such a spell and once more impressed at his ability. They saw that after casting such grand spell, Naruto began to pant heavily. Then Kirito rushed at Naruto with Excalibur in hand with intention to deliver a strike to Naruto. Then they saw Naruto withstand the strike and deflecting it with his no Murakumo. Kirito continued to assault Naruto while he still not recovered. They all thought that Naruto was cornered and Kirito was about to win. But suddenly Naruto chanted some incantation that caused Kirito to fall on his stomach. Kirito-kun, shouted Asuna worriedly. It's bad. Naruto-kun's spell that has been chanted was a gravity spell. Now Oni-chan won't be able to stand up. Naruto-kun has the advantage now, said Leafa. Kuso, when we're about to think that Kirito had won, Naruto pulled a stunt like this, said Klein irritated and slammed his knuckle to his palm. It's not over yet. There is no way Kirito is going to let this end like this. I am sure he still has a trump card in his sleeve, stated Agil with narrowed eyes. Show me your determination, Kirito, said Sinan looking at the lying figure of Kirito. Naruto versus Kirito. Naruto stood towering above Kirito, looked down while panting and said, "It's over, Kirito. You have done a good job to push me this far. But it's over now. I won. You are just as exhausted as me, while being crushed by the gravity and couldn't stand up." Kirito gritted his teeth and thought, "Kuso, I can't let things end like this. I won't lose. It seems I have no other choice but to summon him then." Naruto raised his Amno Murakumo and was about to finish Kirito off. Kirito looked up in determination at Naruto and began to chant. "The immortal bird that guards the south. Come to me and annihilate my enemy. Invoke Susanoo." The portal appeared before Naruto that caused him to jump backwards. From the portal a huge phoenix appeared and screeched loudly that caused wind to blow harshly and Naruto to cover his ears. Kuso, he finally summons it. One of the four sacred beasts, the immortal bird, Susanoo, muttered Naruto, sweating nervously looking at the legendary being. With the party, they saw that Naruto was about to finish Kirito off and shouted his name. But suddenly a portal appeared before Kirito and out from it a huge phoenix appeared, magically protected Kirito from Naruto's assault. What the heck is that? Where did that huge phoenix come from? Did Kirito was the one summoned him? Asked Klein in shock and awe. That's right, Klein-san. This is one of the four sacred beasts, Susanoo. This is one of Oni-chan's strongest spells. And if he summoned Susanoo then the other will be summoned soon as well. This is Oni-chan's last trump card, explained Lifa, also in awe at the sight of the legendary being in front of her. Even if she already saw it, but it still managed to impress her even now. Wow, I actually read about the legend of four sacred beasts. But now that seeing with my own eyes, makes me feel even more excited, said Silica. Alright, Kirito. It's time to take Naruto down, shouted Klein with glee. Sinan and Liz turned to Naruto's side and watch his action carefully and silently. They want to see how Naruto will fight Susanoo. Naruto versus Kirito. Kirito used all his will and stood up, then he summoned the rest of the sacred beasts and have them surrounded Naruto. It's really over now, Naruto. With all the sacred beasts summoned you don't have a chance to win anymore. It's my victory, Naruto, stated Kirito looking down at Naruto, from the back of Byakuya. Naruto looked around him and saw he was surrounded by all sacred beasts. The sight was very intimidating. The normal person would have run away from the battle. But Naruto is different, he has gone through things far worse than this. It's true that I maybe not be able to win. But even something like this won't let me back down. If you unleashed everything you've got, now I will do the same. With Naruto closed his eyes and began to chant. Oh, the ruler of serpents. The eight-head legendary evil god that destroy everything in its path. Appear before me and strikes the fear in my enemy's heart. Invoke Yamato no Orochi. Beneath Naruto a portal appeared. And from it an eight-head gigantic serpent slowly appeared. 8 of its head looked at the four sacred beasts and hissed threateningly at them. Let's settle things once and for all, Kirito. This is the final battle. Naruto shouted. Yeah, it's time we determined who is the winner of this intense battle. Shouted Kirito. With that the four sacred beasts charged at the Yamato no Orochi and the final battle has began. Allo. New Aincrad. Floor 100. The square in front of Haru Castle. In the middle of the square of Haru Castle, the 5 gigantic legendary creatures were fighting each other. On the back of the huge white tiger stood Kirito, with the Excalibur in hand. He is looking at his opponent seriously and intently. On the back of the 8-head serpent wore a black armor with red cape, stood none other than Naruto Yuki Uzumaki. He is also the last boss and the master of the recreated new Aincrad. Naruto also analyzing his opponent's moves. The Azure Dragon suddenly roared loudly and out of nowhere the square was filled with a huge amount of water. But that didn't actually enough to drown Yamato no Orochi as it swam up and began to fire energy beams from its mouth at Seiryu. To assist Seiryu, Susanoo screeched loudly and began clawing at one head of the Yamato no Orochi. With its wings, Susanoo created a fire wave and directed it at Orochi's other head. Byakuya also jumped at one of Orochi's throat and tried to tear it apart with its claws. Kirito on Byaku's back decided to jump to Orochi's back and engage with Naruto again in a sword battle. Naruto saw that he is at disadvantage now decided to chant an incantation. Tenebrous Sphere. The dark sphere appeared around Yamato no Orochi and blasted away the sacred beasts. Then he unsheathed his sword just in time to deflect the slash coming from Kirito. Kirito gritted his teeth and began to push Naruto back. Naruto hardened his eyes and kicked Kirito away and then rushed at him, striking rapidly. Kirito created some distance from Naruto then charged forward and activate Quadruple Pain. Naruto used Phantom Force and the Quadruple Pain missed him magically. Naruto charged at Kirito with Phantom Sword in hand and forced Kirito to defense. Naruto was about to continue the assault, but was forced to jump away, as the huge shadow suddenly appeared above him and was about to crush him. Naruto activated his wings and flew up to see that it was Genbu that stopped him. Kirito panting heavily and looked at Naruto from the corner of his eyes. We have been fighting for that long, but how could he recovered from the damage that I caused so quickly? Did he saw a hidden skill perhaps? With the party, they looked at the battle that have stepped to the final phase and on the whole other level. They saw the legendary creatures from mythology battling against each other. They also saw that Kirito has advantage in numbers, but Naruto still managed to keep up pretty well. Then they saw the table began to turn again as Naruto casted a huge dark sphere that blasted away the 3 of 4 sacred beasts. And just that the sword battle of Kirito and Naruto on the Yamato no Orochi's back has began. Then they saw that Naruto has a control over the situation again and was about to attack Kirito again. If not for the Genbu's intervention, Naruto may even finished up Kirito. Man, the battle is so intense. And with a situation like this even if we were to intervene we won't be able to help and just be in Kirito's way, said Klein looking at the grand battle. Oni-chan wouldn't have want for us to intervene. He came here to test limit after all. He want to see if his strength enough to defeat Naruto-kun. The one that was proclaimed the invincible player of VR MMO of all time, said Leafa looking at her brother from the distance. But Naruto also want to test himself against Kirito-kun as well. Those two were always in the front line fight back to back against each other in order to survive the cruel rule of Sao World. Even though I think both of them nearly even. Kirito-kun still lacks something that Naruto had already experienced not once but thrice, said Asuna solemnly. And was it that Asuna-san? Asked Silica curiously. The experience of near-death situation. Am I right, Asuna? The one answered that question was Sinan. Sinan turned to Asuna with a serious face. Asuna opened her mouth in surprise at Sinan's deduction. She nodded her head and replied. As you know Naruto sacrificed himself in order to end Sao, by defeating the last boss of Aincrad, Heathcliff. And not long from that, he lost all his memories and was trapped in Aloe. He eventually was captured and tortured by Shugu, that has imprisoned me in Aloe. That was the second time of his near-death experience. And the third time, we all knows. That is the battle against Death Gun. I think that only the person that had experienced the same feelings as Naruto could defeat him. I am not saying that Kirito-kun didn't have a chance to win. It's just that Naruto's battle resolve far surpassed the virtual world. Everybody began to nod their heads in agreement, as everybody could see that Naruto's battling resolve is surpassing that of Kirito. But even so they still believe in Kirito's abilities and his will to win. Naruto versus Kirito. Naruto was about to approach Kirito again but was forced to fly up as Genbu began to roar at him. It also slammed its leg to the ground, caused the ground to shake and began to split apart. Susanoo, Byaku and Seiryu recovered from the damage caused by Naruto's sphere and also jumped to the battle yet once again. Kirito flew away from Orochi's back and landed on Seiryu's head. Suddenly he saw the Excalibur shining too brightly. The light is so bright that it enveloped the whole sword and Kirito's body too. Naruto jumped on top of Orochi's head and narrowed his eyes looking at the direction of the light. Something felt not right here. When the light died down, Naruto saw that there is the golden armor on Kirito's body. The armor consists of the helmet with 2 horn-like design. The armor itself also has many sharp points, blaster blade liberator armor with golden color. Naruto widened his eyes as he never saw the armor like that. Just the aura it emanates already makes him feel uneasy. What kind of armor is that? I have never seen something like that before, Naruto asked at shock. Kirito looked at himself, then clutched his knuckles and feels that he is stronger now. He looked back at Naruto and smirked. I didn't know this will happen myself. This armor is the armor of liberty. It will manifest when Excalibur has accepted me fully. This was the armor of King of Round Knights, Arthur Pendragon. Only together with armor Excalibur could reveal its 100% power. As the demonstration, Kirito slashed the air with his Excalibur. The result was a powerful current of wind blew past Naruto. Naruto's eyes were utterly shocked at the demonstration. Naruto shook his head and calmed himself, then looked at Kirito again. I think that's enough for the battle of summons. Let's end it with a sword battle. Time to see who is a better swordsman, said Naruto, and dismiss Yamato no Orochi. Kirito nodded his head and replied. I was just about to offer that. No more magic and any deception. Pure sword battle. With that he also dismissed the sacred beasts away. They landed on the ground together, unsheathed their swords and get ready for the final battle. With the party, they first noticed that suddenly the Excalibur glowing too brightly in Kirito's hand. They wondered what the hell is happening. But when the light died down, they saw that a golden armor appeared on Kirito and felt that the armor somehow makes him stronger. Surprise again. How many are there anymore? First, Kirito reveals his second Nun system skill. Then Kirito reveals to have magic eyes. Then he reveals that he could summon the sacred beast. And now suddenly he also has a super duper armor. Complained Klein, holding his head with both hands. I felt like that somehow Excalibur materialized that armor for Kirito. That is the reason why before that it glowed so brightly, deduced Sinan with her hand under her chin in thought. Kirito-kun looked kinda cool in that armor, don't you think? Asked Asuna, smiling brightly. Well, I feel that the climax will be very soon. Soon we will see who is the winner of this harsh and intense battle, said Agil with crossed hands. No matter what happened, we are gonna celebrate a new year after this, NE. Oh, I nearly forget that Naruto-kun has earned a decent amount of money after the death gun incident. Maybe I should ask him to buy me a new pair of boots or even a new fur coat, stated Liz, then her eyes shining brightly at the memory. Everybody sweat dropped at her expression. Well, I just wanted for this battle to end soon enough. So we could all celebrate the new year together. It didn't matter to me who will win. After all, I love both Oni-chan and Naruto-kun. I will just cheer for them both, so that they could do the best in this battle, said Leafa, then smiling and turned to the battle. Sinan thought for a while, then turned to Liz and Leafa. You know, Naruto has offered me to move to his old apartment. He said that if I feel bored or lonely that I could move in there. He will be often there to work on his project after all. Leafa and Liz hearing that and widened their eyes and shouted at the same time. No, don't move in. Sinan blinked and asked. Why? I am actually bored at my old apartment. And if I moved in with Naruto it will be more fun. I am his girlfriend after all. And if I am thinking about what you guys are thinking, Naruto won't try anything pervert, if he even attempt to. I will smack him in the head. At the answer, Leafa and Liz opened their mouth then closed again. They couldn't have responded anything. The other just shook their head then turned back to the battle. Naruto versus Kirito. Kirito and Naruto are observing each other for a while, trading blows after blows in their heads. Kirito decided to move first and charged at Naruto. Naruto narrowed his eyes and activated his phantom sword, prepared to deflect the strike from Kirito. Kirito slashed at Naruto's torso with Excalibur and was about to unsheath his other sword for the second strike. Naruto deflected the strike to the torso, but winced from the force of the attack. Then he stabbed Amno Murakumo forward, forcing Kirito to raise his armored hand to protect himself. Kirito flew up and descended down at Naruto and used quintuple star to slash at Naruto from above. Naruto jumped aside to dodge the skill and used Phantom Burst to create the illusory self and rushed at Kirito. Kirito let the skill hit him and prepared for the impact. It was not much, as the armor of Liberty has decreased most of the damage. Kirito rushed again, this time with electric sword in hand. He began his assault at Naruto again. Naruto was forced to defense and began to deflect as much strikes as possible. Kirito began to accelerate the speed of his slashes and finally managed to break through Naruto's defense. Using that moment, he slashed with the other sword that has a water skill activated. Kirito has unleashed his second skill, Connect, and this time he managed to deliver it at Naruto with full force. Naruto received the rapid strikes from Kirito, screamed in pain and was shocked by the combination of lightning water. He slowly fell to his knees and then lied motionlessly in the ground. His HP bar showed that his HP has only 100 point. With the party, they saw the final battle between Naruto and Kirito has begun and saw how intense the battle is. It wasn't until they saw Kirito has successfully delivered the second skill connect at Naruto. They heard the scream of pain of Naruto and then saw he slowly fell to the ground. It seems Kirito had won. Naruto is lying at the ground motionlessly now. His HP is at 100. All Kirito need is the last strike. Cheered Klein. Meanwhile the girls felt somewhat bad seeing Naruto lying helplessly like that. But they also remembered that this is not Sao. You won't die for real here if you were defeated. Still it was the second time they saw Naruto lied helplessly on the ground. It just feels off, because Naruto was always the winner of all battles. So seeing this side of Naruto makes them realize that Naruto is not actually invincible. Naruto versus Kirito. Kirito took a deeper breath then looked down at the Montuno-less form of Naruto and said, "It was a very hard battle, but I've become the winner, Naruto. You are clearly the strongest opponent I have ever faced. Your strength is that scary that if I couldn't have obtained the Excalibur and the Armor of Liberty there is no way I could have win. This is a goodbye strike, my rival." With that Kirito prepared to stab Naruto. But suddenly a huge battle lust coming from Naruto's motionless figure. He jumped back at a certain distance and observed what is happening now. Naruto slowly stood up like a zombie. Then he looked up and Kirito shivered then felt goosebumps look at Naruto's eyes. Naruto's eyes were icy cold and merciless. He looked at Kirito with that icy eyes and said, "Nothing is over yet, Kirito. But now I will end this battle. You won't be able to win against me. You know why? Because you did not experience the true danger of battle. Sure you fought with some member of LC when the clearing party decided to wipe out the guild. But it was nothing compared to what I have experienced. The horror of the near-death experience. You lack that feeling in order to defeat me. But due to respect for you, I will show you my original sword skill. The skill that I invent by combining Yusozen, as well as your Starburst stream. My own OS, Final Requiem. F Final Requiem. The skill that combined Yusozen and Starburst stream into one. Kirito asked shocked at the revelation. Naruto stood in his stance with his right hand extend forward holding the sword. Kirito gulped and prepared to intercept Naruto's os. Naruto moved his foot a little then disappeared in the burst of speed and reappeared at Kirito's right side and deliver a 40-hit combo slash with lightning speed that caused Kirito's eyes to widen in horror as well as in amazement. All the 40 strikes were delivered at Kirito and sent him flying to the back before he was transformed into a dark purple torch. Naruto took a deep breath before turned from his back to face the dark purple torch. With the party, they saw that Kirito was about to deliver the last strike to end Naruto. But suddenly a huge amount of battle lust coming from Naruto's unmoving figure. Then they saw Naruto slowly stood up like a zombie and showed his merciless icy eyes like that of a killer. They all felt goosebumps just looking at those eyes. And then they heard that Naruto was about to unleash his os. When they witnessed the result of the skill they were utterly shocked and could even say a single word. They could only open their mouth and gasped as the skill was performed. Each strike was faster than the former and just that all the 40 strikes hit Kirito and killed him. They looked at the quest and saw it say, "You failed." After a while, Agil finally had managed to say something. So the winner is Naruto after all. I didn't even know he has such a powerful skill, let alone it was os. But nevertheless the battle was mind-blowing. I probably would not see such a battle like that any time soon, said Agil very impressed and began to clap. Yeah. That was like seeing one of the fantasy movies, only in reality. Naruto-kun has proven yet again that he is invincible, said Liz with a smile and also began to clap. Even though I am not very happy that Kirito-kun lost. But I am still happy for Naruto. And yeah, the battle really was fantastic and out of this world, stated Asuna smiling and clapping her hands. Man, it's a shame that Kirito had lost. But Naruto is not the last boss of New Aincrad for nothing and he proved that to me with this victory, said Klein and also clap. Naruto, you are really something. If anything you just proved to me once more how really powerful you are. The strength that far beyond that of virtual world, Sinan said with a smirk also clapping. Oni-chan. Naruto-kun. You guys are really the best, said Leafa. I think I could never forget this battle ever. Maybe I could even write this battle into a book so that the others could enjoy as well, said Silica. with the other party. They had witnessed the battle from the start to the end and they were surprised with each second when the battle against those two has started. But in the end, Naruto still win. Man, this battle will be in my mind forever, said one member of the Salamander party. I know right. Everybody knows how powerful Naruto-sama is. But Kirito-san nearly managed to defeat him. Nearly. And that definitely spoke something, said the other. Hey, we already know the identity of the last boss. Do you think we need to deliver that information to the other players? Asked the third member. I don't think we need to. Because Naruto-sama will definitely not like that his identity will be exposed to the world as the last boss of New Aincrad. As for thanks for this incredible battle, we should remain his identity in secret for now, said the other member. The party all nodded their head then went to the other party and they all agreed to keep Naruto's identity as the last boss a secret. With Naruto saw that the torch has transformed back into Kirito and smirked. That was an awesome battle, Kirito. But guess the winner is me this time. Kirito blinked and then rolled his eyes and said, who the heck knows that you have such a trump card up your sleeves? You may win this time. But I won't let it go so easily. I will train more and we will battle again. When that time come I won't lose like this time. Naruto just smirked again and said, I will accept your challenge any time. Then he turned to the direction of the girls and said, guess we will return to the girls now. I heard you guys planning to celebrate the new year together. Well then let's go. It's nearly the time already. And with that Naruto run to the direction where the girls stood. Kirito just shook his head and then catch up with Naruto. After that they all logged out and prepared to celebrate the new year. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.